And here we are in Moggle. We have Andrew Gunn with us this morning. We have Hayley and Jess, and we're starting with our spinal moves, which is the head leading the rest of the body in the spine. Yes, nicely picked up. That's really coming along, Hayley. I can see a lot more. A lot more. What is that? Awareness. And let's just welcome some breath as we roll. And we've been using hands on the body. So if you bend your knees, one hand on rib cage, one hand on your belly, then the ladies have noticed that it's the articulation of the ribs to spine. It's just side to side, just lateral to start with. Yeah, great. Couple more here. Breathing freely. And you're welcome to close your eyes so that you can stay grounded in your own body and start to open up the parts of the spine that feel a little stuck or rigid. I'm just going to keep this action going as you let the back of your mind be open to hearing an introduction. Andrew Gunn is my neighbour over at Honor Avenue. Hayley, I'm sure you've been to my old house. So I've known Andrew for over 10 years. His kids are like a niece and nephew. I call them my adopted niece.
They are, yes. My daughter loves Lexi.
Yeah, we're very close. And Andrew wrote a book. He's very established over 30 years of experience with strength training. He's followed mentors like Dan John, who's the kettlebell man. Am I right?
And absolutely, and strength training as well, around the world.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
He's world renowned.
He certainly is. He certainly is.
And Andrew wrote a book on an Olympian coach named Percy Cerruti. And that's how Andrew and I came to be talking about movement together. We both share a long-standing passion for strength. And I'm delighted that he's here because this is absolutely a key step in this program is welcoming new perspectives. So we're delighted that you're here.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Lexi. Thanks so much. And it's great to meet you both, Jess and Hayley. I do appreciate this. And it's a huge honour to be invited by Lexi here. So while everyone's still moving, I might try and, I know women are very good at listening and doing things at the same time. So I'm happy to just say a few words, or Lexi can do those exercises. As that sound?
That's good.
So I think this is a fantastic. Can you guys hear me, Hayley and Jess?
Yeah.
All good. That's good. I think strength training. I think this is a wonderful initiative by Lexi in regards to strength training, mobility, balance, and conditioning for over 40s because it's so crucial.
Yeah.
There's been so many studies done in the last few decades now on what happens to us after the age of 40. You know, we as the decades progress, we lose strength, we lose muscle, our energy drops, and we also start getting some illness and some other lack of movement can cause other factors. So a physio said to me once that after the age of 40, there's two types of people. You've got the ones who have pretty much, I wouldn't say given up, but they're going to live a comfortable life. They're going to stop exercising, stop walking, stop moving, and eating bad food. They want to be comfortable. And then you've got the other people the other 40-year-olds who keep training like they're in their early 20s.
Mm.
And what happens then is they keep getting injured. So both methods fail. And this is why it's crucial for a program like Lexi's to focus on people over 40 to really have a nice balance into their lifestyle.
Absolutely, Andrew. Yes, I agree. There is that turning point at this age. Either we stop moving and succumb to comfort, as you say, or we press towards challenge.
That's right.
Which is exactly what these ladies have shown by showing up early morning. You know, the number of people that said, "Oh, I couldn't get out of bed at 5:30."
I know.
If you can't get out of bed at 40, how do you expect to get up and into life?
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Yeah, perfect.
No,
Do go on, Andrew.
okay, no worries, yeah. So a couple of things. Has anyone heard of Percy Cerity? No, that's good. You haven't? No, Jason Haley. Well, he was the coach of Herb Elliott. Have you heard of Herb Elliott? And John Landy, they were Olympic champions for Australia back in the 1960s. And this man, I want you to picture this, Haley and Jess. At the age of 43, this man was given 12 months to live. He had just suffered his third nervous breakdown. He was an alcoholic, a chain smoker. He was smoking 3 packets of cigarettes a day. He had a constant cough, bedridden, uh, going through divorce, and had financial issues because he wasn't working. So he was on the way out. This guy was on the way out. And who can believe that in a few years' time, the same sickly individual would start winning marathons, would start competing in ultra marathons and hold records in weightlifting in Victoria. So it just goes to show what's possible after the age of 43. And Percy Cerity was one man who can inspire us all over 40s and 50-year-olds to keep understanding that our best years can still be ahead of us and not behind us. They just did a study last year, and this study went on for 30 years, Lexi.
Yes.
And they had 147,000 participants in this 30-year study. That's just a huge number.
Yeah.
And some of the things they found from this study was that strength training, all you need to do in regards to strength training is have 90 to 120 minutes per week. Not per day, per week into our lifestyle. So 90 to 120 minutes per week. That's like 30 minutes, 3 times a week.
Well, yes, we're getting that here. So we're doing twice a week.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's fantastic. And the good news is, Haley and Jess, that the study also found that doing more didn't improve the results. So just that 90 to 120 minutes a week, that's all you need to do in regards to strength training. And that's one indicator of having a nice, long, healthy life. The other things they found in this study, I know I can see Jess writing a few things down there, is that strength training, Haley, reduced death by 13%, 13% overall in the study.
Reduced death?
Yeah, our death predictability.
13%?
13%, but also 20% for cardiovascular disease.
My little sister's a cardiovascular nurse, and she was saying the problem with women in the middle age that go to the gym and just pushing it.
Yep.
You see them all with that leather skin as they've been out in the sun, and just said they're the number one candidate for heart disease out of everyone on the street. It's those women in their lycra.
Yep.
Doing all that running, and they're just killing themselves.
But yeah, that's correct. Absolutely correct.
Did you say, Jess, I just didn't fully capture the whole thing, but did I hear you say that running women running are at
Yeah,
risk of cardiovascular.
all the middle-aged women who get right into physical fitness, and they get that brown leather lizard skin looking thing, and they're very lean looking,
Uh-huh.
but they're actually like top candidates for heart attacks.
I see. Okay. So
Yep.
hence the more deliberate, controlled, yeah, okay, not
Yeah, and knowing what you're doing to your body, I
Yep,
guess.
yep.
Thank you, Jess.
That's a good observation, Jess. That's a good point, actually. From the studies I've read, strength is key. Strength is in regards as we age, strength is a huge factor. And just the importance of being strong for as we age is we can't neglect our strength. So I guess what I'm trying to say is after the age of 40, strength training isn't optional, it's a medicine. We need to keep doing strength training 90 to 120 minutes a week to have a nice healthy life as we progress through the years.
Fantastic.
Now he's
Thank
there.
you. I was just going to suggest, well, it's nice to see that you're both able to listen and engage and just keep some movement going, which again is a sign of what we could be doing when we're in meetings or
Absolutely.
even on the phone. We can be doing these movements, especially now they're programmed into your body. So if you'd like to, and I'm so appreciating your input, ladies, you could come to your clock with the stepping behind. You'll know this one, so just take your time. And you can let Andrew's words really fuel your muscles. Even hearing you talking about strength, my body wants to engage. So, yeah, please.
No worries at all.
Andrew. Thank you so
No
much.
worries. Jess, Haley, and Lexi, thanks very much. And I also want to talk about a man who introduced me to Percy Cerity. His name's Dan John, and Dan John is a huge mentor of mine. He is a world-famous strength coach. He's an all-American discus thrower. He's a university-educated man. He's a school teacher by trade. He's written 12 books, quite a few bestsellers in regards to strength training. But he's also a very kind man, and in fact, he caters for the over 40s. His podcasts, he has thousands of listeners, and they're all catered mainly for people like us, amateurs, who want to live a good, healthy life. So Dan John, in regards to his tips, he's written many programs, which we'll discuss shortly, a very easy one. And his tips mirror the kind of the study I was just talking about, and that is to train regularly, like 2 to 3 times a week, strength train regularly, or incorporate that with yoga and balance and walking. Also, this is what I love, don't destroy yourself. So many people think of strength training as doing PBs, doing massive heavy weights. His idea is to go to the gym or do your workout and leave feeling better to as you started.
Yes. I might interrupt.
Yeah, of course.
Haley had a question which I think is specific to women who often get a personal trainer and then find that the muscles, when they're doing heavy weights and lots of reps, the muscles form in a bulky way, which she was saying she didn't enjoy it, and I've heard this from a few sources. So
that's a good tip. That's a very good.
I'm interested in your thoughts.
And I've got a theory on that. So I've got I reckon, was the trainer young?
Ask Haley.
Haley, was the personal trainer young?
It's same age as me, like 42, 43.
And what sort of exercises were you doing, Haley?
It was like compound. So the weights program she had me doing twice a week was like leg press, lat pull down, chest press, and it was just incrementally, like the weights. I'd never lifted weights that heavy. Like I was getting up to 20-kilo dumbbells.
Right. Oh, yep.
I was, feeling. I was like, she's going, oh yeah, you're getting strong. I just didn't like the way my body was looking, and I was exhausted.
Yeah. And that's what, and Dan John is anti that. He's anti that, and so is Percy. You can't kill yourself in strength training. The secret is to do the 60 to 70% range of your PB, and stay in that range for as long as possible, for weeks and weeks and weeks, and you'll naturally get stronger as you progress that way. You can't keep doing heavy weights the whole time, especially over 40. It'll destroy us. So it's just amazing. Look, she had the personal trainer was sort of doing the right movements, push, pull, and a squat there, but you can't keep doing heavy weights. The trick for strength training isn't necessarily putting on muscle. It's just to be strong for our size. And I just think that I love how Dan John always says that to leave the gym feeling better than when you actually walked in. Seriously, that's a good way.
Simple approach. My objective is to feel better as I leave.
Correct. Absolutely. And he also has another quote, Jason Haley, that I love.
Yeah.
And he's another quote, and this relates to strength training and any training, mobility training.
Yeah.
And the quote is, little and often over the long haul. Little and often over the long haul. He says that a lot. And what he's saying there is just be consistent. Be consistent. Don't try to go half of 2 weeks and have 2 weeks off. Keep doing it each week, each month, each year, and it progresses. Things progress that way. And I just find that's just great advice. And he's a big believer in following calls them the 5 movements. And I think we'll go into them fairly soon, after we've done the warm-ups, of course. And the 5 movements.
Warmed up, actually, yeah. In fact, I might grab my weights.
Go for your life.
Yeah,
go
if
for
you're
your life.
going to introduce
Absolutely.
those 5. But by all means,
No worries.
start. I'll be right
No
back.
worries. We'll just wait for Lexi.
Going.
Oh, no, he's there. So the 5 movements Dan is a big believer in, and this is by science, so was Percy Serenity, was the push movement, such as a push-up or a press, a pull movement, such as Harry was saying, like the assisted pull-up or the assisted lat down, maybe assisted pull-up or pull-ups or even rows. The hinge movement, and we'll go into this shortly. That's why we have the broomsticks. and a squat, maybe a goblet squat, and the carries. Now, you don't have to do that each workout, but as long as you can try and incorporate those movements into your lifestyle each week, then you'll solve 90% of your issues in regards to so many factors.
So we might even just connect what you said, Andrew, with what we have been doing.
Yes,
because
I'd love to see this.
The ladies have been doing an upward push.
Perfect. A press or a press, yeah.
Yeah.
Push or press, yes. And
then I'm curious what you think of this one, Andrew.
Yeah.
It's a resistance on the pec. So we use the weight behind the head.
Yes.
It's a mobility for the shoulder, as well as I find a strengthener for the pec.
Yeah.
But it's not a push. I'm wondering whether
it's more of a press, is it? As you're coming down.
As we come down.
So it's just
a seed to plant in case there's anything that comes to mind.
Yep.
But it's like using the resistance and the control. So it almost feels like a pull, almost.
Okay, wow.
Anyway, that's just one we've been doing. And the other one is a squat.
Yep.
With the weights.
Yep.
We call it a sumo.
Yep.
So that's obviously a push for the legs, but you've got your squat there. And then carry, we've been doing primal movements. So the ladies are both very familiar with called a primal dog pose. It's different to the yogic dog. And then we've been doing this lizard step forward and very, again, pushing for the legs.
I love that.
Yes, there's some pulling
That's excellent.
too. Yeah, so anything, I suppose we're getting a hinge at the hip.
Yeah, I
well.
you are, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we're kind of covering off on These ones, these are the 5 that Andrew recommends, and they come from Dan.
Oh,
John.
it comes from you. Well, he's one proponent of them, and I mean, they to get stronger. These are the sort of movements we need to do into our lives. A push movement such as a press, overhead press, or push up.
Does that show us back to front to you guys?
Oh, that's perfect. I can read that.
Oh, that's excellent. A pull movement. So that pull, a good example of a pull movement. As sort of other ways to look at it too. If you have any dumbbells at home or kettlebells, you can do like rows. Have you heard of rows?
Oh, yeah.
Rows or assisted pull-ups at the gym. Sort of. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Even what? That's perfect.
Oh,
That's it, Hayley. That's it. And try to have your thumb up to your armpit.
great. Let's give Dan a go.
Yeah, so
that's a nice compliment too.
yeah. So try. I'll let Lexi take it. Okay. So
Is that? Oh, yeah, that's the row.
that's a row movement. So the trick for a row is, I try and think of my thumb going into my armpit. So and hold it there for a while, for a few seconds. Then go down. Breathe in. Breathe out.
Nice, Jess.
So focus on your thumb going into your armpit.
Nice, Hayley. Yes.
And we can do 5. All you need to do is 5 reps. 5 reps each side. And I'll do the other side now. So that's good. That's excellent, Lexi.
The other thing the ladies
Pulling into the middle of your shoulder blades.
Correct. So shoulder blades, absolutely. As you go up, you can feel your shoulder blade. That's why I love having my thumb into my armpit, because it makes my shoulder blade engage.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Do you have your feet together or apart?
Usually, just be balanced. I think being balanced is the key. Balanced. That's it. So Lexi's got the arm, and that's pretty. Maybe if you can, just try and go down a bit further. Just try to arch your back, hinge your back a little bit further. Okay, I'll just try again. So I'm gonna hinge. I'm gonna hinge a bit. That's a hinge movement, and I'm gonna just try and get into this position. That's it. That's a bit better. Yeah, that's better.
You're pulling it back, not up.
That's it. Perfect. That's looking much better.
Yeah, cool.
That's excellent.
The other practice that you're using is what I call a challenge point, which is to recognize that at some point along that arc, if you like, there'll be a strong point.
Yep.
So what I've found to get the most out of my time, to get a more effective workout, I just go straight to the challenge where it's really strong.
Yep.
And then we do little micro moves to develop the neuromuscular connection.
Wow.
At that challenging point,
Yep.
the weakest point, right?
Yep, that's correct. Yeah.
So even if we're not doing a lot of reps, if we've done a challenge, then I'm curious to hear how that has worked for you too. But I find I can get quicker sense of satisfaction just by going straight to the challenge. Yeah.
And I like how you've got it up in an angle too for a few seconds. So you're following the resistance.
Yes.
Time under tension. It's called time under tension.
Time
under tension. Yeah. Tension.
Tension.
And the more you do that, the more your body it grows. It definitely grows. Conditions and grows. So I like that. I like what you're doing there, ladies. I really mean that.
How has that been for the two of you, out of interest? Have you found the challenge point?
Yeah, I felt that the most I felt that I was when we were doing that sideways walk, I think, with our legs, and I just felt the burn and I loved it because you feel it through your whole body, and then it's almost like you get the maximum benefit with the least amount of effort.
Yep.
Beautifully said, Hayley. That's the exact intention. And thank you for the reminder, because we've not done that move. So I wonder if it applies, definitely applies to the squat.
Okay, so show me the move, please. I'm keen to see this move, actually. Very keen to see this move.
Again, this all comes from primal moves, if you do want to check it out.
Yep.
The basis of the dog pose, they
Wow,
then do all sorts of swivels,
wow,
leg up,
that's awesome.
leg back. But the one Hayley's talking about is we did a side step.
Yep. Wow, that's incredible.
Is that right, Hayley? That's what.
Yeah, it was a side step and kind of hovering and meeting that tension point and then feeling the burn.
Yep.
Seriously good for the glute med.
That's fantastic. So here's a suggestion. This is my suggestion.
Please.
What you ladies are doing a wonderful mobility balance. This is excellent for mobility.
Yes.
Excellent for balance. And I think if you combine this with a bit of strength training, you've got so many boxes ticked. So in regards to what I recommend in regards to a squat is a goblet squat is what they call it. And let's get a dumbbell.
Yeah.
And this is only like 5 kilograms, but I'm just going to hold the dumbbell like this, and I'm just going to go down. That's it. I'm just going to do five reps. We'll do 5 reps, Hayley.
Yeah.
And Jess, if you want to, yeah. So just go down try and have your elbows in between your legs. Okay, so that's good, Lexi. That's good technique. Perfect. That's excellent, Hayley. And that's very good, Jess. And that's called a goblet squat. And I think if you incorporate this as part of strength training, so strength, we're using weights here, and we're just doing a functional movement. And the good news about these movements are, Lexi and Jess and Hayley, is that you only need to do like 2 sets of 5 for strength training to get stronger. This is science proves this.
Yeah. 2
sets of 5, 3 sets of 3, 5 sets of 2. So 10 is a magic number. 10 for strength training. A total of 10 reps is a magic number. Now, Dan John swears by 2 sets of 5, but you can do 3 sets of 3 or 1 set of 10. Just do that. So there's one. So far we've done some rows. We've done some goblet squats. Now, another one I do recommend, and Lexi was touching on it before, is when you're in this position here with your mobility work, when you're doing the press up there, maybe just do 5. While you're in the position, do 5 on each arm. Because this is part of strength training. This is called an overhead press. And when you finish, do the other side. Nice and slow, we'll control the movement.
Wow.
Now, you have to do this 2 or 3 times a week. A press movement, a pull movement, a squat movement, a hinge movement, and 2 sets of 5. This is part of strength training. So combining that with your mobility, what you're doing with Lexi and your balance work, which is just amazing, I think you've got so many boxes ticked already. Seriously, you are so far ahead of everyone else. You are for over 40-year-olds doing strength, mobility, balance. You are so far ahead of the curve. So I think the secret for strength training is you do need to use a weight. You need some sort of resistance. It can be running up and down a hill. It can be running up and down a sand dune. But you do need weight. So what Lexi's doing there is like mobility and balance.
Well, I beg to differ.
Okay, fair enough. I think that's good. Yeah. Okay, good.
Give it a try, Andrew.
Okay, I will. Yeah.
It's seriously strong to carry the weight of the leg.
I didn't see the weight there, so yeah.
Even just the weight of the leg.
Okay.
I mean, yes, we do use the weight for added, but there's a strong engagement.
Wow. Okay.
I still feel it's
that's good.
Strength.
Okay.
I mean, yes, there's the next level. I can feel that.
Yeah.
But give it a go.
Oh, well, okay, I will. Yes, I will.
And Hayley, if you want to, now you've identified that it's a whole body activation for you. Again, and I think this is some difference between the way that men and women work out. I've noticed men seem to be much more mechanical, counting. Women, I find, we tend to want to work with the sensation.
Okay.
That feedback of, that's what I need. You know, it's like a definitive.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, that's working for me. You know.
Okay. Okay. No, that's good.
Quality of the movement.
Hey, Andrew, I've got another question just
Yes.
about some equipment because
Yes,
I'm pretty anti going to the gym, and I bought those, like, they're not rings, but you strap them to the roof, and they're like you can do chin ups.
Yep. Perfect.
Are they any good?
Perfect. They certainly are, Hayley. And Hayley, but I hate the gym as well. That's a good point. I hate the gym. Percy Cerity, he trained everything outside. He didn't go to the gym. He used sand hills. He used mountains. He did all his workouts outside, and with things like you're using now, rings, trampolines. So that what you were talking about there, those rings are perfect, absolutely perfect. And all you need to do, Hayley, is trying to do 2 sets of 5, 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And seriously, well, that's all you. That's you. You got to cover so many bases there.
You're reminding me, Hayley, of swinging, and it's one thing we've not done in these sessions, but naturally, right? We would have climbed.
Yeah.
We would have hiked.
Correct.
When you talk about the pull action, I imagine Hayley's going to get a lot of pulling. Absolutely,
Hayley. And the pulling is just such a crucial movement. I think it's probably out of the 5 movements, I think it's the most important one, actually. I think the pulling movement is something as human beings, as we've progressed, evolved with time,
we've lost it.
We've lost that movement. We've lost that movement. We all do presses and pulls and presses and pushes, but the pull movement is such a vital movement for us all. It's great for our posture, but we've lost that ability. People have lost that ability to pull.
So could they find an anchor point and use that as a
perhaps, absolutely. Yeah. I'm sure that would definitely work. Because I understand not everyone has rings either. Not everyone has rings. That's why I find those rows we were doing before. That's a pulling movement, and you can just a dumbbell or a light kettlebell dumbbell as we were doing before, as Harley's about to doing before. That's such a movement that people forget to do, and it's so cruel. It's so crucial.
Even the fact that you and I found it hard to find something.
Correct.
We're like, correct. It shows that it's not part of our repertoire.
Correct. Absolutely. That's absolutely. And that's a good movement there, Lexi. I can see a lot of the hips opening up as well.
Yes.
And that's a good stretch. That's a stretch.
Yeah. It must be so good. Like when I do that sort of movement, I feel my spine like extend and expand as well.
I love hearing that, Hayley. We would have done this together over the years. Again, I think it's one I do a lot because I've seen people from sitting slip discs, lumbar strain, all signs of compression. Whereas this one, and I've not found it in any other practice other than yoga, the decompression of the lumbar. Yeah, I'm so pleased you get that, Hayley, and hear it and feed that back. There's so much about your embodiment of the practice.
And talking about slip discs, I've got a desk job, unfortunately, and so I'm forever compressed 5 days a week. And even though I do try and get up and every half an hour and stretch around, it doesn't quite solve the issues. So in this day and age, with our easier lifestyles, it's important to do those kind of stretches to, I guess, decompress our spines.
Well, you're reminding me too, Andrew, if Hayley's got rings,
yep,
and also Jess and I can do some of this. You still with us, gorgeous?
Yes,
Yeah.
I am.
Go downstairs actually. Get my rings.
Nice. Jess, you still with us, sweetie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
I am.
You and I can find some trees. You've probably got some amazing trees at your place. Jess lives up the road.
Mhm.
I'm wondering also whether hanging,
Good boy. I was about to mention that.
whether it
Yeah.
relates to pulling.
It certainly
You're
does.
using gravity, right?
Well, hanging, they call hanging. I'll wait till Haley gets back on. I think she's gone downstairs, is she? I'll wait for Haley. Can you hear us, Haley?
Yeah, I'm still here.
That's good. So Haley, I love Dan John loves hanging, and so do I.
Mm.
So they call hanging the poor man's chiropractor.
Ha!
The poor man's chiropractor. And I tell you what, I feel good. Every time I hang, I try and hang 4 times a week. And I try and go for I go for over a minute. And I can feel my whole back just decompressing. And it's such a great movement. You'd be surprised how many people can go for 10 seconds at the most. But so over time, try and go for as long as you can, Haley and Lexi, because it really does decompress your spine. Hanging is a great movement. It's an underused movement.
I'm thinking of you, Jess, and your pelvis, because we can also, one thing that's transformed my practice has been opening up the hips. You will have had some of this with your massage with Kenta, Jess. He really gets right in there.
Yep.
But even if we find somewhere to, like I use a hammock. In fact, we can do this later today, Jess. Yeah, we'll get the hammock out, and then you hang your hips over the hammock, and then you just let your body, like your legs straight one way, and then your spine goes the other way, so that everything is separated from pelvis.
I think I've actually got one of those yoga swings.
Do you want to bring
cool.
it up? Bring it when you
There's
come.
one like you hang from the door frame, yeah, and you do
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Bring it up today.
I feel so much better after a hang. My laps feel loose. Just everything feels how it should.
Open.
And
I know I use it as one of those challenges in those competitions, like not American Ninja, but you know the physical challenges.
Yep.
Is to see how long someone can hang, you know,
for as long as
and
possible.
it's like the
Correct.
hang wins,
Correct. Yes.
and you're like dying.
And there's another thing I was going to say in regards to hanging. I'm glad you mentioned this. So Percy Cerutty, he was doing these things 60 years ago with his athletes before they became known, and he was considered a madman, a lunatic, what have you. But all he did for stretching afterwards was hangs.
Wow.
That's all he did. He didn't do anything. He did hangs. He got his athletes to hang from a bar, and that was their cool down. Was the hanging. So hanging is so crucial, Haley. And I'm glad you.
One of my friends has this, like it's like this swinging platform. You stand in it and you strap your ankles in, and then you flip upside down.
Oh yeah, I've heard about those things.
I
Yeah.
in one of those.
Yeah.
Did you give it a try?
Yeah, I did. And you hold on to the little bars and you push yourself back. It's really cool.
Cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
fun.
You've tried it too, Jess?
Yeah, when I was in primary school, a friend's brother had one, so we used to play on it a lot.
The thing I've noticed with hanging is that you can hone your attention into the joint that you want to release, and it really highlights how much hold and grip, unconsciously, we're just carrying around this stuckness, whereas deliberately,
it really puts a focus on the micro tension in, like, you know, like in your shoulder. If, like, sometimes you'll feel it here, sometimes you'll feel like that sort of uncomfortability, and you can sort of move yourself micro movements to get like properly hanging from the socket.
Yep. Tell you what, Jess, I'll tell you what, here's another thing I've just realised as we have had this discussion, is 20 years ago I was playing touch football, and I dove to try to touch someone who was running past, and I didn't know this at the time, but I partially dislocated my shoulder. And the physio said, it's pointless getting an operation, but you'll never be able to lift weights over your head again. That was 20 years ago. And you know what cured it? Was hangs. Hangs.
Oh wow.
Hangs has fixed my shoulders. It fixed my shoulder mobility. And I find when you're in that hanging position too, there's two options. You can either just hang down and your weight, your weight, how do I say? Just hang and let your body, let gravity push you down, or you can partially put yourself up, and you can feel your lats engaged as well. And I see what they've done a study on this actually, and they said that the bar hang is one indicator for longevity. So because it increases your grip, it makes your grip stronger. So one way to get your grip stronger is hangs. And as I keep saying, like, it's amazing how many people can't do 30 seconds of a bar hang. So it's a good goal to have, to try to get over a minute and do it. Always say over a minute, even when we're 80 years old, 70 years old, to try
I've heard someone say that all stretches should be held for at least 60 seconds to get any lasting change in the muscle.
Right.
Yep, yeah.
Yeah, I'd not heard that, Jess, but I'd heard about the connection between the grip and longevity.
Absolutely. And
That's
one way to do that is bar hangs. Seriously. And it's a great movement to do.
Yes.
It's another underutilized movement.
We might do that next opportunity, Andrew. We could even either set up something. Haley, do you want to show us your setup?
I'm like in a. I don't know if you can see. It's pretty dark.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, just.
yeah, I've just got these. I don't know what they like. Those TRX straps.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I just have them hanging down here. They're probably a bit low to hang from unless I strapped my feet into them.
Got you. Okay. Yeah.
That's excellent.
I reckon we
that's
could
very
play even playgrounds, I find.
I was about
Kid
to mention that.
Yeah.
Whenever I walk past a playground, and these days we have so many parks with fitness equipment, pull-ups and what have you. Whenever I walk past one, I hang or do some pull-ups. It has to be done.
It's the one thing kids do, isn't it?
Correct. Absolutely, Jess. They certainly do.
What did you say, Jess?
That's what kids do.
Kids, yeah, they do. They do a lot.
They certainly do.
Monkey bars, they're obsessed with them.
They are, and they're so strong. Their movement is natural, isn't it?
Yeah.
Their movement, because they do the pulls and that without even knowing it.
Okay.
It's not work for them.
So shall we check that we've covered off all of our bases? We're doing really well for time.
Yeah, okay. I just wouldn't mind just talking about one movement that Dan John swears by. He thinks was a game changer. So he's been throwing the discus and he's been track and field all his life. He's been coaching for 40 years, but he's also been competing in masters events, and he holds records in weightlifting in America. But he says one of the game changers for him as he got older was a carry movement, such as a farmer's carry or a suitcase carry. And have you heard of them, Haley or Jess?
Yeah, I'm ex-military, so we used to do a lot of carries with the jerry cans.
Yeah, perfect. They call it the farmer's walk. Yeah, the farmer's walk. So you're carrying weight to your side. So that's just another movement that maybe to consider. Dan John thinks that was a game changer for him. He doesn't know why. We have a WTF effect. The WTF. He was starting to throw the discus further when he was in his 30s and 40s than when he was in his 20s. And he's a prolific writer, and with his programs. And he was going through his journals thinking, "How's this happening? What am I doing different?"
Yeah.
And the only thing he found was he was doing more carries.
Is that like with a kettlebell or something? You could just hold them like
dumbbell, kettlebell, and anything. It could be, if you said a jerry can, some sort of weight, and just make sure you when you're walking, to correct posture, of course. Try to be nice and straight and balanced, and just walk. Have the weight to your side, and I think he swears by single. He'd rather do a single carry than a two-handed carry, but both work very well.
Do you swing your arms or do you just keep them to
No,
both
don't swing your
sides?
arms. So the trick is, Jess, is to hold the weight. Where's the kettlebell?
So hold it static.
This is this is just a. So I'm going to try and stay straight, stand tall, and just walk. So I'll get that weight pretty much close to me, and my other arm's just naturally doing its bit. The trick is, I guess, is to go heavier as you progress. But yeah, 5 kilograms is an excellent way to start. And he saw this as a game changer.
In the primal gym, they use like tricky grip, like challenging the hands. And you might find this as you use your straps, Hayley, but you can play with the grip. In fact, so that you're using different parts of the forearm, the wrist. So as you're walking,
My wrists are really weak.
this is her favourite. So I might actually introduce the dog too, because as you play with the different grip, adjust the fingertips. They do that a lot at the primal gym. But I would love to introduce this one because we're all animal lovers in the room, and one of the things that has been coming up and has been working out in the dog park. Oh, there she is. Hello, Daisy. Oh, she's such a sweetie. Is she a tugger, Hayley? Does she like tugging?
No, not really.
Not a tugger.
I'd put her over. She's like 3 kilos.
What's her favourite move? Does she run? Does she like jumping? What's her thing?
She does that. I was really noticing the other day that really big like downward dog stretch. She loves it. And she does get into the little zoomies every now and then, particularly after a bath. She sprints around.
The sprints, yes.
Yep.
So Juno's favourite is the tug, and I've been wondering what it's doing for my body to incorporate it. And Andrew is has an Alsatian, a German Shepherd, a very smart, beautiful dog. And I see them walking, and I see people at the dog park letting the dog do the thing, but they're not moving. I'm like, surely there's ways to incorporate things. So that's why I've been playing with the rope. She absolutely loves it, and it's the one time I let her really growl and go for it. She provides a full-on, strong and unpredictable movement.
Yes.
So it's pushing me to wake up all of the muscles, and then I do 2 movements. In fact, you could even, if you want to give it a try, even just to mark, I do one hand behind, I swap the rope, and then so I'm getting maximum opening across the chest, maximum work of the upper back, and then I also do swapping hands behind, which is probably that pulling movement. Actually, it definitely is pulling. Yeah, if you get a chance. Anyway, they're just a couple of moves that I'd love to start incorporating when we do some dog park action.
Oh.
And I'm reminded too, as I come behind Jess, of your introduction to the reverse plank as well. Jess sent a fantastic video I'll forward to you too, Hayley, about the value of engaging. In fact, we might all give it a go now, and it would be a helpful
absolutely
for you to feel the body weight.
I'll do it. I'll join in.
You can
absolutely.
Either use your weight on the hips or come down to kneeling.
Yep.
I think we've had enough now. Come, Papa. Good go. Good go. Come, darling. See you soon. Come. I know, sweetie. I know. Come, darling. Jess loves this. Jess and Juno have a particular affinity. Come, Juno. Come behind. Come. Come to. That's enough now. We'll play after. Oh, darling.
She's got such bad FOMO.
Very well trained.
We.
Beautiful dog.
Life belongs to
Beautiful dog.
you. Amazing. Yeah, so if you visualize even the back body as you do the movement,
Yes, yes.
just kneeling with the hands behind,
Oh, yeah.
and then if you straighten. I'm sure you've both done this before. That video, in the video they used a wall to rest the head. That's obviously an option. My understanding of that imagery, Jess, and you might want to pipe up if there's something else that comes to you here, but to me it represented the reversal of the arms forward position that most of us do during the day. So activating the upper back, even the glutes. So let's find a challenge point, and what we've been doing is 4 times 30 seconds.
Okay, okay.
So little micro moves at your challenge point, glutes and upper back. And let the head rest back if it feels more natural. And that's already 30, so 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We take a short breather, but keep your attention within your body. The simplest way to do this is to stay with your breath. So again, we reposition as we take a breath in. You might try with straight legs as you breathe out. Close the eyes if you haven't already to find your challenge point. Support your neck and head. You fuel the muscles with your breath. For 15, deliberate squeeze, deliberate activation. For 5, 4, use the glutes. 3, 2, pump them up, pump up the glutes for the last one, and then again a little break. And inhale to prepare. Find your posture, your challenge point. Support the neck however you need to. Find your focus within yourself, your discipline. For 10, 9, 8, 7, press into it. 6, 5, 4, good. 3, nice and steady, all the way through. 2, 1, and take a breather. Inhale to prepare. We exhale, up we come. Our final high intensity, 70%, maybe rising to 80% capacity. Feel the activation and use the neuromuscular connection, your mind to your body. For 15, use your pelvic floor, maybe your core, deep abdomen. For 10, for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job, everybody. Easing down. Often I find naturally when I've engaged the posterior chain, I instinctively want to engage the anterior chain. So to activate this, scoop up pelvic floor as we've been practicing. Scoop up the contents of the abdomen. Come into a natural forward bend, as though you're really drawing up the insides. Hold here for a good 10 seconds. Using the exhale to scoop up the contents of the belly. If there's a neural stretch, this is a positive sign. For the last 5 seconds, you may like to mobilize the ankles. It's a little eversion and inversion. That's just a rocking of the feet. That will floss the nerves. Now imagine that's a strong one.
It's good.
And
I should do it more often.
we'll make that a bit stronger by hovering the legs and again using all of this internal power. Now, again, you could make it stronger by taking your weight to the chest. And then little pulses. Now, I'm not a Pilates fan. I find I've seen so many people with injuries, but there are certain things like the beats. So I'm doing, one is flexing, one is pointing, and I'm just tap, tap, swap, tap, tap, swap, tap, tap. Well, these are all neuromuscular activations. And then little press, one knee comes up. So we're really, it's an anterior chain, the front body activating. The last one here, if you turn the opposite chest to knee, that's it. Great. 5, 4, 3, 2. Lift the pelvic floor, the abs, 1, and then resting down. And here I find the knees wide. You could use the weight on your back if you wanted. Come into it again, a natural forward bend. Turn your attention again to your belly and pelvic floor, so that as you breathe in, there's a little bit of pressure down. This happens quite naturally. And as you're breathing out, you can lift the contents of the belly and pelvic floor. Go with that for a few more rounds. An opportunity to connect with yourself. Last breath here. Internal connection, connecting with your deep inner body. Again, these are the muscles that prolapse with age. We do need to reverse that by using the deep inner muscles regularly. They will not be activated during the day unless we are deliberate about it. And I'm very curious to know whether you have abdominal or pelvic floor work. This is something that I've noticed that men are quite vulnerable, I think, to weak or lack of pelvic floor.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, we are.
Any abdominal floor practices that you use, Andrew?
Well, the one I once again, I give this from Dan John, and he's obviously, I think most people know about the plank, being on the elbows, but he likes his plank to do this way, like sort of in a push-up position, and engaging your glutes. And I can try and this is how I do it. So I'm going to go into a push-up position like this, and I'm going to really squeeze my glutes together. Another thing is, so two key indicators: engage your glutes and really focus. Try to grip the ground. really grip the ground. He wants tension. He wants tension in our bodies. So I can just show it on me. So when
you come on an angle, Andrew, that hopefully can see your whole body.
of course, yeah. So I'm going to pretend to really get my hands trying to get the ground and my feet as well.
Great.
And engage my glutes. So I'll just show you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to feel like this. I'm really trying to get tension. And this is, I don't know if this is pelvic, but this is sort of like a core movement. I've got to swear by. And I'm really trying to squeeze my glutes.
Yes.
And I can feel that. I can feel it in my everywhere. I can feel it in my core, my abs, my hips.
Definitely a whole body activation.
It is.
The one adjustment.
Yes.
Suggestion
Yeah,
that
good,
you might
yeah.
play with. And again, love to hear from you ladies if you've had any feedback.
Yep.
But there was a big movement in physio to tuck the pelvis under.
Okay.
And I noticed in my practice,
Yep.
personally, and a lot of people that came to me were getting really tight in the glutes and weak in the abs.
Okay.
The primal movement is to keep a neutral spine, and the way I check that is by swiveling. So the glutes are actually kind of still engaged but plumped up, and that way I can feel more work at my abdomen rather than being weak in my abs. I actually feel stronger. So I'd be interested to see how you.
So it's a neutral spine.
A neutral spine.
Okay. Yep.
Which has a slight lumbar curve.
Okay. And how do you, in regards to the glutes, what do you do?
They're still engaged.
Yep.
They're still strong. I'm actually lifting the glutes.
Yep. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Up.
Gotcha.
And then I can feel my core, but I'm not. That actually switches my core off, whereas that switches my core on. So we might even play with that difference.
Yep.
Let's give it a go. Jess, I'm not seeing you, sweetie. Is that you, the red? Oh, it is. Oh, that was a beautiful moment. Okay, so let's give it a try with the tail tucked under, and just feel for yourself how that is. And then try lifting the glutes. I call them like plumped up marshmallows. And just see what happens at the abdomen. Now you can always come to the knees and recover, and then come on up again. And just have an experience for yourself. Attention to what's actually happening at your abdomen. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Easy down. Yeah. I'm very curious to hear how was that for you, Andrew?
Definitely feel that. I feel like, I'll be honest, but when my glutes were higher,
yes,
I couldn't engage them as much. I found
the glutes were higher.
Yeah, I found that. But that's just me. That's just me. Yep.
Yes. Ladies, any observations to share?
Yeah, I enjoyed feeling that contraction in my abdomen. Like it felt like I was working it out.
Nice. Working it out. Yep. Perfect. Yes.
I definitely noticed the lack of tension in the glutes.
You're noticing a lack of tension in the glutes?
Yeah, like it's using my abdomen instead of my bum. I found that better.
Better to use your abdomen more than...
Yeah, rather than tensing my glutes up and holding myself up that way. It felt more natural to use my abdomen for the strength rather than my bum.
Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. The other way we can test it is in a side plank. This one's good because you can feel with your own hand. So again, you can work from the knees or the toes and use your floating hand to hold these are actually your oblique muscles. Holding the underside, and then you can again play with that. I'll show you the other way, but play with squeezing under. And what happens in that lower side? And then taking the glutes back and up, and just feel. You can use that top hand on the underside and feel.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they both have their place, right?
I certainly do.
And then let's give the other side a go. Nothing quite like actually feeling the muscle. Okay.
What I kind of feel it more all down my lats.
Down your legs?
No, my lats.
Oh,
My left side.
that.
Like, I don't know if I'm feeling like too much. And around my scapula.
Okay. Can you transfer? Not now, Juno. Just wait, please.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I think she'll stop.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you,
that's
Andrew.
okay.
Yeah. Enough, Juno. I think that's still helpful, Hayley. But you may find you can shift the work a bit lower just through the activation. She'll pass. She will get over it. Even a little downward tilt. Tailbone might shift the work along.
Maybe just, if I put a knee down, it's better.
Enough. Thank you. Just breathe. Right here. We can hear you. In fact, it's a good time for us all to start winding down. And where we've not used roots.
That's okay.
I'd love to, though.
Okay.
We could do it in maybe a slow,
I'll see what I can do here.
deliberate way.
Jess and Hayley, I guess in regards to strength training, another movement I swear by is like a hinge movement. And the best way to describe a hinge movement, I guess, is to have like a broomstick. And I'm just gonna say it's a hinge. That's quite a difference. So two different movements. That's what we're going to do like this. But a hinge movement, we're going to use our hips to hinge. And so there's very minimal knee bend, very minimal knee bend. It's just all in the hips, just hinging forward. And I guess this is just another movement for us to consider as we get older, the hinge movement. And I just feel this. So to me, I just feel. I always use this as a warm up. My broomstick at home, and the reason why I brought that in is because if you want to do swings, kettlebell, if you want to do kettlebell swings or some light deadlifts, or some good mornings, that's sort of a good morning with some weight. That's a movement you'll need to and I'd have your face straight, looking straight ahead. Actually, Hayley, that's better. Just even a bit slower. Go a bit slower down, a bit more controlled. That's better. That's perfect. I love that.
What's the good morning?
well, the good morning is sort of that sort of movement actually, but you only have weights. You have weights on it, light weights. Yeah, but I always find that's a great movement to start. And once again, Hayley and Jess and Lexi, I find that this is another movement that the human beings has stopped doing. You know, the pulls and the hinges. Is sort of that's perfect. That's perfect. So you can see Lexi there using just a broom handle. I've got a broomstick at home without the hand, without the head. But I find this is a great way to warm up before I start doing any sort of weights.
This is what you call the good morning, Andrew?
So yeah, correct. Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it's also the hinge movement. Yeah, so the hinge is just another movement in regards to as we age with strength. When we're strength training, to kind of try and incorporate that into our week somehow, into our week. Now, I mean, now that we're doing that, I can sort of get a dumbbell here.
Yeah.
And you'll find, like, if this is just a very 5K, I'd be sort of doing it this way. Maybe just, I'm just going to hinge. I'm going to hinge. I'm going to hinge. I have my face straight. Like, yeah, that's good. That's good, Hayley. And you can just feel the hinge movement. So these are the movements we need to consider. If this is part of it, I guess, as we aging, we need to kind of factor in hinges and squats and pull movements that Lexi's already doing in abundance. And once again, it's just 2 sets of 5 or 3 sets of 3 or 1 set of 10. And so that's just another thing to consider as well. So I use the broomstick just to try and get us used to the hinge movement. Yeah, the hinge movement. Yeah, the hinge movement.
Well, it's another opportunity to experience the lumbar, lumbar lordosis. So a little bit of a curve.
Yep.
In the lower back. I find really helpful. And again, that same sense of the glutes, because they're acting like that controlled lever, plumping up the glutes.
Yep.
Obviously, as we come up, we're squeezing them straight, but controlling from the glutes. I find this one I do a lot because I do a lot of gardening. So I really focus on bringing the work into the back of the pelvis.
Yes.
And I find that protective, actually.
Yes, it certainly is.
When I've had lower back strain.
Yes. I have as well. Certainly.
The strength in the glutes protects lower back.
Absolutely. That's spot on.
And the other thing, I love that you suggested Hayley keep her face.
Yeah, I agree. So don't look down. I find especially with deadlifts, they say you should try to look not straight. Yeah, just kind of look ahead. Don't look down or don't look up. That's very good, Hayley. That's much better.
We're not seeing you.
And it's not that's nice and relaxed as well. I like that, Hayley. I love that.
Watch the Pilates crew. They do the head down.
Do they?
And it's in contrast to what we do in yoga, which is these ladies and I have been working on facial yoga. And helping to hinge the very top of the spine.
Wow. So how would you do it? How would you do that, Lexi?
Just as you showed Hayley before.
Yeah. Looking ahead. I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's important too when you're looking ahead. It somehow keeps your back aligned. Whereas if you're looking down straight away, you've got that curve.
Well, it also, in fact, we might share this with you, Andy.
Yes.
To close. It's a lovely way to wind down. You might want to keep your broomstick in your work space because it has so much value for play. Do you know enough? As in, like, there's so many options for.
Yeah, I love that. That's another one I do recommend.
Is it?
I can use this one too. I'm sure.
In fact, we can do both. Just even a free form, and we just watch each other if there's something that somebody's doing that looks helpful.
I do. This is what I do. warm-ups. And I just find hinges, when I do my warm-ups, I use this bar without the head at home, and I'll go through the 5 basic movements. I go through the pull, the press, the hinge, and the squat. And I find this is, I don't know what this movement looks like, but it's very good I feel it very good for my shoulders anyway.
While we mobilise,
men aren't as flexible as women, so I find this keeps me feeling pretty flexible.
love to hear your voices into the space. I'm wondering whether, as we keep mobilising, whether Hayley and Jess, you might be willing to share with Andrew some of our facial yoga. And it could be something that you've heard me say or something you've discovered for yourself. Would that be asking too much to have a little bit of vocals from both of you?
Is that like when we're pressing down the jawline and going down the contours of the neck and really feeling into the sensations on the face?
That's right, darling. Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. As I keep saying Dan John, but I think he's, as Dan John always says, that our body's one piece. Our body, so we can't neglect the face. Yeah, and the face is, I like how you guys are using every single muscle.
That's right. And it makes such a difference to the attitude with which we practice.
That's right.
And it is whole bodied rather than...
Correct, absolutely correct. The body's one piece. The body's one piece. So that's why if you see these people at the gym, they're just doing their arms, or they're just doing their, well, do the whole body, which you're all doing. It's just amazing.
Oh. Jess, I would love to hear if you have any input on facial yoga. And in fact, I'm going to turn the lights off here so we can invite us all into some just natural free form. And if there are any words that you want to speak into the space that come from the expression of your face and the tone of the face, then we'll just allow some space for anybody who'd like to speak into that.
Well, I've had a great time this morning, Lexi, and it's been wonderful to meet Jess and you, Hayley, to you both. I think you're doing a wonderful job, and I think you are so far ahead of the curve with what you're doing here. It's such a crucial thing to do over the age of 40 years of age. And just keep up what you're doing. You're very inspirational, and I've really had a good time this morning.
Thanks, Andrew. I've really enjoyed this morning, and thanks, Lexi, the whole 6 weeks that we've been doing. And I'm feeling really inspired to begin. I've just really loved what you said about these 90 to 120 minutes. Like, yes. I find that so tangible, and I'm already blocking off like these little 30-minute blocks of my week thinking, all right, and I'm looking forward to creating a little program to do that strength and conditioning exercise that's a little bit different every day. So
yep,
stays novel and exciting. But I'm feeling really inspired.
That's fantastic. I've actually got the program here, which I'll give to Lexi, and I'm sure she can share with you two ladies. It's just a very standard strength program that works. And as you said, it's 90 to 120 minutes a week. That's nothing. That's 2 to 3 sessions a week. And when you combine that with mobility and flexibility and movement and yoga, which you're all doing, seriously, you're so far ahead of the curve. It's ridiculous how far ahead of the curve you are compared to everyone else. And I'd even go as far as to say that you'd be most 20-year-olds out there in this day and age who wouldn't be able to do what you're all doing today. So it's been very inspirational, and just keep doing what you're doing, and just try and factor in strength into your week, which you're doing.
And notice the quality of your movements. Both of you have much more awareness and a deliberateness in your movement. It's really quite noticeable.
And there's just it. And I've just got here the notes, the practical plan. That's just for a basic. Which honestly, if you did that 2 to 3, including this, you're laughing.
I think this would be to hold that
Okay,
up.
I've got this. So I'll just finish off here.
Take a screen.
See what I'll do. I'll even share these notes with Lexi, so we can email you these notes of the presentation today, and I'll just see you'll see it better on the PDF. But my simple program to consider, only to consider, would be like a bench press overhead press that we did before. We did an overhead press, 2 sets of 5 or 3 sets of 3. Some rows. We did those rows, single arm rows, 2 sets of 5, 3 sets of 3. I light deadlifts that we did before. Those light deadlifts were for dumbbell or kettlebell. Once again, 3 sets of 3, 2 sets of 5, or 1 set of 10, whatever you want to do. If you get the opportunity, try and do some carries, farmers carries, and you guys are doing the cool work already. So seriously, look, the studies are proving that 2 to 3 times a week, that's all you have to do, and it's amazing what you're all doing here. It's so good to see, and very inspirational.
Thank you.
I need to make a move, Lexi.
Yeah. Jess, are you still with us, darling? Maybe she's gone to the loo.
I'm actually going to make a move, Hayley. I'll get out of
No
work.
worries.
But it's been great to meet you. I'm sure we'll catch up again in the future.
Andrew,
Yeah.
Thank you,
for
Lexi.
your time,
Thanks so much, Lexi.
for your
Thanks very
enthusiasm,
much.
for your wisdom and your knowledge. And I'm looking forward to the next one.
I can't
Maybe
wait.
even
Can't
at a kids' park. We could even
Yeah,
do
perfect.
at an outdoor setting if
That'd be awesome.
if it's light enough.
Absolutely.
Gray, I know that these two are always up for adventure.
That sounds excellent.
Thank you both for joining.
Thank you, Hayley, and thank you.
See you both on Monday.
Right. See you then. Have
Thanks
a great
very much.
weekend.
And you. See you, loves.
Thank you.
See ya.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well done to you.